Maybe I am officially over holidays. The universe isn't just out there, it's interacting with you. Claim your power by embracing the unknown. This is Tracy with Tracy Talks, and I'm here to ignite your curiosity. Don't just listen, embrace it. Thanksgiving was good. It's always good to spend time with family. It's always good to be thankful for everything that I have. However, the holiday is based around a big feast. And it's not always the lightest of foods. I mean, they're tasty, they're warm and filling, and they just hit that comfort spot or button inside of me. And while I appreciate that, I'm noticing how I don't feel the best at the end of the day. I tried not to overeat, but still there was this feeling of heaviness inside of me. And I have been trying to eat lighter foods because I just simply feel better. But I would think that I could have one day where I could just enjoy different flavors, different textures, and different foods that I don't have every other day of the year. I mean, my family doesn't have those type of foods very often. And so I spent most of the afternoon just trying to recover from lunch. And as much as I hate to say it, I'm sitting here reflecting on how I feel. And a lot of times when I'm talking about relationships and I'm talking about interactions, I'm talking about jobs and just the daily things in life, one of the biggest tools that I believe that we have is, how do you feel after the exchange? And if I'm having to equate my meal with a person, I mean, I would just probably disconnect from this person because I feel so horrible. I mean, if I can, exchange those two, like lunch as was a person. But for some reason, there are these certain things in my life that I just make accommodations and I make concessions about. Like, it's okay that I feel like this because it's just food, when in reality, it's not okay. And this is going to be one of those areas where I don't have an easy time establishing those boundaries. It would be a whole thing. Like, I would have to bring my own food, which is fine. I mean, I could bring my own food. And then I have the inevitable explaining why I'm not eating the green bean casserole, the broccoli and rice casserole, the stuffed mushrooms, the stuffing. I mean, it would just be a big thing if I didn't eat the food. And part of me just is frustrated too that as my body has aged, a couple of things have happened. One, I mean, I feel like at this point in my life that I really appreciate good flavors. I really appreciate these foods that just, I don't know, connect with me on a deeper level, that there's comfort there. There's something happening there. But yet at the same time, I can't eat the food. Like when I was a young person, I know I was more active, but when I was a young person, I didn't appreciate the food like that. And I could just eat it. And then there wouldn't be any this heavy feeling in my body that my body would be like, okay, we'll just take this food and we'll just use it and we'll consume it and we'll burn it. But now I'm at this point in my life where I appreciate really good food and I can't eat it. I can't eat very much of it. And it's frustrating. And as I'm sitting here reflecting again, like how I feel, I'm really going to have to figure out what is most important. There are people out there that have restrictions. I've just never had to have restrictions on my food. I've never had to say, like, I can't eat those certain types of foods. I've never had to do that. And I can. But again, it's a new boundary that I haven't established. I haven't had to exercise it. And I just find it interesting. Because, like, if I was dating somebody and they made me feel as horrible as I have felt today, I would end the relationship. No question. I'd be like, we're done. I can't do this anymore. You are toxic to me. But since it's food, I am having a hard time breaking up with some of these foods. And I'm sure there's probably a deeper message there. Like there's some association with, my youth. There's some other association there with comfort and love and family that probably are being impacted as well. And if I give up the food, then I'm giving up some of those nurturing associations that still warm my heart. I'm really just kind of having a little bit of a tantrum. That's all. Again, like I said, I understand there are so many people out there that have serious dietary restrictions. I've just never had to have them. And I am having to reevaluate all of my choices. And I know it's a little dramatic to say that I just need to give up all holidays. But I'm just finding it more frustrating. I'm just finding it more frustrating, to be honest. There's just no way around that. So I guess I'm going to have to break up with green bean casserole. I guess I'm going to have to break up with broccoli and rice casserole. I guess I'm going to have to break up with cornbread stuffing. I already broke up with the roll. I didn't have that today because that seemed pointless. I'm not ready to break up with pumpkin pie. I'm not ready to end my relationship with peach pie. I think it's just hard when so much of my family gatherings have revolved around food and enjoying each other's company through a meal and having to redefine connection and redefine what it means to be in communion with others. We have just always been a family that the meal was one of the most important things. And it's not that I can't give up the foods, it's the idea of changing our connection and changing how we interact. And especially as my parents are aging, they're not necessarily flexible on their willingness to see the world through a different lens and would have a hard time even if I suggested that we change the menu. Those things just don't happen in my family. We don't change the menu. We have the same things every year. We gather around the table with the same foods. They taste exactly the same. And that's where the difficulty's coming in. It would have to involve restructuring how I connect with my family. And let's face it, that isn't always the fun thing to do, is to be the one to say, hey, let's change all the rules. People aren't usually open to that, and that's fine. And I made it. I mean, I'm fine. I'm here. It was just a long day, but I'm grateful to have family to spend it with. I'm grateful that I had food on the table, and I'm grateful that I have another day. Thank you for listening to this episode of Tracy Talks. Remember to rate, review, and subscribe, and share with others who would enjoy listening to this podcast. Friends can find Tracy Talks available on iTunes, Spotify, Substack, and YouTube. Hit me up on Instagram and Facebook at More Tracy Talks. And until next time, we meet again.